cameras made for space, for inside the human body, for helping cars see, and of course for capturing our everyday lives. Today, most of us take most of our photos and videos on our phone cameras, and they can do some pretty incredible things, like take 360-degree photos, record video in 4K, and help us meet new friends. Ever since last year, when I got to test out the camera on the Google Pixel, I've been curious to know, how can photos like these come out of a camera that's smaller than a fingernail? What's going on inside that I can't see? Since the Pixel 2 just came out, I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to run around Google, meet with the people who worked on its camera, and find out as much as I could. You ready for this, Noodles? There's not going to be any turtle photos, but I promise there'll be a lot of other cool photos. Okay, let's go. The main challenge for building a phone camera is size. Since we want our phones to be light and thin, you essentially have the space of a blueberry for the camera to squeeze into. From the outside of the phone, you see the lens, which on the Pixel 2 is actually a stack of 6 lenses.
And they have very strange shapes. They've got weird W's in them and so on, because you're trying to correct for what are called aberrations. You distort the image in a very small amount of space.
This year, there's also optical image stabilization.
There is an actual physical piece wrapped around the lenses, which has motors on it, and it can align the lens in a number of dimensions.
Focusing moves the lenses in and out, while optical image stabilization moves them up, down, left, and right.
You can see it moving around as it compensates for whatever your hand is doing.
Then just a millimeter behind the lenses is a sensor, the equivalent of film for a digital camera. It's covered with light-sensitive photosites, aka pixels, which capture the light and convert it into an electric signal.
This year, the image sensor has 12 megapixels, but each of the pixel have left and right split, so it actually has 2.4 mega sub-pixels, if you will.
We'll talk more about this later, but what's interesting to note now is it gives a sensor new capabilities related to depth of field and autofocus. Can you give a brief overview of what's happening when you take a photo?
It's amazing that we can use a piece of silicon to take a picture at all. You wouldn't want to look at the picture that comes right off of the sensor. It's dark, it's green, it's got bad pixels that are stuck on. Even if you're not doing computational photography, there's a lot of processing that goes on to make that image into a good final photograph.
And this sort of processing happens on all digital cameras. Each camera does things a bit differently, but on the Pixel 2, there are roughly 30 to 40 steps all in all. And for me, the first step was the most interesting to learn about. The sensor has a physical color filter laid out in a checkerboard pattern of red, green, and blue pixels. So instead of a pixel sensing all light colors,
It senses just red, or just green, or just blue.
and it collects twice as much green light because our eyes are more sensitive to green.
And so you have to combine the red that was seen here from the green that was seen here with the blue that was seen here to make a color image. That's a process called demosaic.
After this, the image will get gamma corrected, white balanced, denoised, sharpened, and much more.
Traditionally, those steps have been done by hardware, meaning circuitry that is specialized to do that. But as the cameras begin to move toward computational photography, it's being done more and more in software.